Cracking stories, danger and foes. In the land of grits and rock and roll. Voices loud, cutting like steel. Fast as the wind, their words revealed. Cracking stories, danger and foes. In the land of grits and rock and roll. Southern Fried, take a ride. Lightning in veins, nowhere to hide. Robert and Dave, they'll electrify. With the fury of a podcast high. Barrels of laughs and razor sharp bites. Burning like sun on Dixie nights. Sizzling banter, scorching their foes. The fight storm rises and it grows. Thunder crashes, hearts go wild. Dancing in hypnotized, beguiled. The bite of truth, the flame of snark. Lighting up the southern dark. Southern Fried, take a ride. Lightning in veins, nowhere to hide. Robert and Dave, they'll electrify. With the fury of a podcast high.
The pipes they hum in the morning dew, a mournful call so raw and true. Through misty hills the echoes play, chasing the ghosts of a fading day. The wind it dances with the sound so bold, silver whispers through the cold. Mountains weep as the notes do climb, a sorrowful hymn that escapes through time. Oh, hear the cries of the rising pipes, feel the strain where the soul collides. A tune that wraps in a tartan shroud, lifting the hearts of the heavy bowed.
Hey, Southern Fried podcast fans, we now have an affiliation with the energy drink Dubby. Dubby energy drinks come in different types. We'd ask you to go shop, and if when you use code Southern Fried, you get a 10% discount, and you help the Southern Fried podcast remain on the air. Thank you for your support. Remember, Dubby and the Southern Fried podcast with their code Southern Fried. This is Dave and Rob with the Southern Fried Podcast. Our affiliation with W Energy Drinks has just begun. When you use the promo code Southern Fried, you'll receive 10% off of your order. They have the energy drinks in the cans, or in the powder, or in the packet form. There are also some other merch ideas there that you can shop for as well. And with Christmas coming, they have the gifts just for you to give to your friends and relatives. So please support the Southern Fried Podcast by shopping at W Energy Drinks. And when you use the promo code Southern Fried, you save, and we also benefit as well. Thank you so very much for your support. Shop Dubby and help yourself, and also help Southern Fried. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. All right. Let me get some of the stuff cut off here on my Podbean side and get camera up. There I am. Good evening on this Sunday, rainy Sunday evening across the South, these parts of it. Hello, Angry Conservative 1981. Folks, you want to make sure you go to Rumble and follow this dear brother right here from the great state of Alabama and his amazing release of video. There is no flies on Angry Conservative 1981. We do a lot of recording, but Angry, he is producing. I love it. I mean, when this guy drops the videos, he's dropping like 12, 16 at a time. Yeah, you go, man. It's good to see you. Hope you've had a great Sunday. Welcome to those, whoever else may be out there watching, just getting in. Had a great day. It really started a great day with the Sunday morning show. Powerful. The dialogue box in the chat. Killer Carl. Dialogue, you brought it. We're going to have her on soon. I mean, real life, passion, intensity, the power of forgiveness, and mercy. Wow. Great way to start the day. I needed that. Fired me up. Went to church, had a good Sunday morning service. I didn't preach tonight. I asked the preacher to do that because you got to get fed. Pouring down rain a lot of the day. It was a great day to get some podcast things done. But yeah, got a little bit more to go, clear out. Hopefully, a little cooler. We'll probably heat back up soon. I mean, it is that time of year. So yeah, hope you've had a great Sunday. Looking forward to the Monday shows. This is going to be a big next week or two. We keep saying that, but it's a lot of great things going on for us. And we're just trying to navigate some things that we're trying to get done. It takes a little time sometimes. But this week should see the release of our website. We're excited about that because it's going to really help us unify stuff. We're going to do our best to get the newsletter prepared this week for release the following week. I was talking about that today. The further developments with Patriot Mobile, they are patriotic. We'll see that. We're already there. Use that promo code Cornbread. Get you a month of free service. We should have our landing page and some videos from them. We've been all over the socials with our own brand of that. We couldn't wait. Definitely enjoyed it. Love those folks. Mammoth Nation, Dubby, and Podbean, all affiliates of the Southern Fried Podcast. We thank them. And soon, and very soon. Wow, we're so excited. Our own coffee. We talked about it today. We've got decisions to be made. We're waiting on our business stuff to come in. Should be all completed by the end of the month, and that'll push forth our drop ship coffee. We've been talking about this for a long time. So lots of work to do. It's fun. It's passion. We got a lot of interesting stuff going on. New shows, further enhancing shows we have. It's a great time to be alive. Great time to be in podcast. Appreciate all of you. You're a blessing. All you fellow podcasters, you're a blessing to us. Thank you for your help, your encouragement. Whatever it is that you do, recommending us. We try to reciprocate and do that as often as we can. I was thinking tonight, I got a lot done today, but I didn't get done what I wanted to do. I want to build a page just for some of those podcasters on the Rumble side that we pop them up, we talk about them, but I want to get them all on a page so we can just show that every show. And we want to recommend you guys. I don't know that helps you, but we pray it does. that and 50 cents won't get you the cup of coffee at McDonald's because it's more than that now. I used to say it would get you the cup of coffee. But sincerely, as we grow, we want to help you guys. You're a blessing to us. We don't want to try to, we're not trying to, and I think they know that. We're not trying to buddy up and try to steal any of their thunder or rub elbows to that fact. We just like you. We just want to help. And we're honored that you come in and say, hey, or you recommend us or anything like that. We're kind of new guys on the block. We just want to find our niche. I think we've got it. We're completely comfortable where we're at. We're just trying to build that brand, find our little spot, park in it, and just work like crazy. That's what we do. Love your logo there, by the way, Angry Conservative. I like that. Looks good. I love that. We were very blessed to get some really good logos early on that we still use most of them, if not all of them, just about all of them. We've created some more for different things as we diversify and develop new shows or enhance shows that we have. We want to do that. Well, let's talk news. This is the news desk. There's a lot going on. Before I start news, though, I do want to say congratulations to the Yukon women. Wow. It's been a bit since they've won the national championship. Not that long, but a few years. This is number 12. And this one, they didn't play. They didn't play no candy team. I mean, they're playing South Carolina. And they absolutely obliterated them. Wow. That's not an easy task. I mean, there's people that didn't think South Carolina could be beat ever. I remember when UConn came along, Tennessee was the big dog in ladies basketball, college basketball. They didn't last too long with them around. Of course, it was on the backside of Pat Summer's career. I get that, and they're still a very good team. Don't get offended, Tennessee Vol fans. I'm not dissing. Respect, but you got to give respect to UConn as well. Denny Hamlin, second win in a row. He just said kind of come out of nowhere. He wasn't doing bad, wasn't doing great. He just come out of nowhere. In overtime, he won the race that's, the track that's too tough to tame, Darlington. The stripe. How many stripes that race day? I got to see most of it. Still on when I left for church. Great racing. Kyle Larson. Wow. Bad day for him. He was one of my picks. I figured Hamlin would do good. I didn't think he'd win. I actually picked Chase Elliott. Didn't win. Byron just killing it all day. That's the way it happens. Whenever you dominate like that, it's going to be somebody else. So that's a little bit of sports as we get out there. But yeah, that's pretty shocking. It was like 80 something to 59 or something like that. I've got it pulled up for the morning show, our morning show in the morning at 6 a.m. It's a little bit of news. CNBC host Kramer, he likes to frantic, Kramer, he says it's going to be a Black Monday crash, rivaling the record 87 collapse. And surely the markets did take a tumble towards the end of the week. These guys kill me. He warns of it. Of course, what's he going to say when it doesn't happen? He could. Markets are markets. Things are a little bit of upheaval right now. So we'll see. He warns that America was in store for another Black Monday market crash similar to the one of 1987. If President Trump does nothing to reel in his tariff plan. Well, Mr. Kramer, you might be wrong. It's like a weatherman. It's going to snow. White out. Don't go to work. It does nothing. I don't like it when people throw stuff like that, warns of this. It's almost like they're hoping it happens. Come on, dude. You can say there's dangers or whatever. I mean, it's almost like trying to have a prophecy about it, fulfilling prophecy. It's like they hope. certainly people should be warned, but markets are markets. It's really hard to say. I've seen him be dead wrong before. I mean, dead wrong. So we'll see. But that's what he's pumping out there this day in the news. Crazy stuff out of Brooklyn. Maniac with a meat cleaver attacking kids on a New York City street. He was shot by NYPD. Just covered in blood. There's blood everywhere. My God. Multiple people slashed with a butcher knife. Sunday morning, several children. Attacker shot. Should be. Good Lord. Makes you, and of course, New York, that great city where you can't go armed. Incredible. Four young girls. Imagine your daughter or granddaughter getting slashed by some freak show like that. I don't know what's going on with them, but good grief. 11 years old. One of them, 11, walked herself in a room and called 911, telling the dispatcher that her uncle had stabbed her and her siblings. Not only a family, my God. You just never know. You just never know what kind of nutcases or mental crazies going on, even in your own family. Wow, they tried to get him to drop the weapon several times. He refused. Advanced toward them. They discharged their firearms. 7 total rounds between them ended the threat. The girls were ages 16, 13, 11, and 8. All suffered serious slash and stab wounds and were rushed to the medical center. Thank God they're all expected to survive. What kind of mental scarring they going to have off of that? My God. Suspect, Lung Cheng Chen, 49, was also rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The motive is under investigation. My God. Your job is to protect the kids. Men are to lay down their lives if necessary in defense of their women and children. Not be attacking them with meat cleaver. My God. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Well, there was a hands-off protest. Hands off! Over the weekend protesting President Trump. There were a few thousand in our city, although taken well after the event had been going, it looked like a few hundred. I don't know how many showed up. Doesn't matter to me. MAGA Minute will be covering this in the morning. The protest. Our MAGA Minute airs Monday through Friday, usually around, now most days. Now some days we get a little off. We try not to. Crazy stuff going on. Monday through Friday, you try to air that usually around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, AM, on the AM. If you was in military time, you would know that was AM. Do people really use military time much anymore? In security, I know we do, or usually do. Usually they want that. I remember when I was at work once. Our machine would it was in military time, and so we would just do our paperwork for that particular machine. We did it in military time, and so I learned it really well, And the way I did it in my head was, I mean, some people use the top of the hour. I don't know why. I guess I don't know why, but for some reason, it just resonated in my brain to equate the 4 o'clock hour, which is 1,600 hours, or the to 8 a.m. the 8 p.m., which is 2,000 hours. I used to always think of it in those terms, and I would just back it up and go forward from there. It still cracks me up to have a 0 hours. But anyway, some people have never seen that or know how to do it or know what it's about. It's kind of like Morse code. Done a little bit of that too. I used to listen to the tapes, trying to learn that to be a ham operator. I learned just enough that I got in. I was never going to move up really great. I don't even know if they use it much anymore. I imagine there's some purposes along the way, but most people don't use Morse code anymore. Anyway, the hands off protesters rally against Elon and Trump. Elon ought to be honored. He's being recognized along with the president across the world. Man has to have a security team. People hating on him. The world is full of rage. Of course, the Democrats, Bernie Sanders, slobbering over everybody. Oh, the oligarchy, he calls it. Oh, out there, stop him. Trump. It's horrible. I can't stand that guy. Suffering succotash. Slobbering. This guy never changes. His message never changes. He never had a good thought in his life. My opinion. Dave in the AM. It's the same old commie crapola. Yeah, I know, socialism. Same difference. Same bunch of losers. God ever, just telling people forever. Buddies up to his union friends. Promising the world. Taking your stuff. Was they going to throw this whole dictatorship out, oligarchy, and he's trying to take over the world. The president they're talking about. And Elon. I mean, what's next? They're going to be calling the Antichrist. And Elon will be the false prophet. They've probably already done that. Good grief. But you know what? I'm all good. There were 1,400 protests across the United States, and that may have taken in some in other places. They call it the hands-off mass action protest. State capitals, federal buildings, congressional offices, Social Security headquarters, parks, city halls, throughout their entire country, anywhere that, quote, we can make sure they hear us, organizers said. Hands-off demands, quote, an end to this billionaire power grab, end quote. Oh, well, I bet y'all worked real hard to come up with that topic. The billionaire power grab. I bet they had a little, I don't know, I didn't go. I didn't pull up the video. Did they have a little song to go with it like they usually do? Hey ho, billionaire power grabs must go. They don't, not very imaginative. They just repeat the same thing over and over again. Billionaire power grabs. Well, you Looney Tunes, what's been going on the last 4 years? How many billionaires involved in what was going on there? Oh, people are people. But you have the freedom to, I'll support your right to have that opinion. May not agree with it, but it's America. As long as you don't do violence, it's all good. Let's check that MAGA minute out. I don't know, we'll see how it did. Cut this today. Minute 40 seconds. Go.
The pipes they hum in the morning dew, a mournful call so raw and true. Through misty hills the echoes play, chasing the ghosts of a fading day. The wind it dances with the sound so bold, silver whispers through the cold. Mountains weep as the notes do climb, a sorrowful hymn that escapes through time. Oh, hear the cries of the rising pipes, feel the strain where the soul collides. A tune that wraps in a tartan shroud, lifting the hearts of the heavy bowed. The valley listens with thirsty hills, quiet falls as the music spills.
And there you go, all those except for Podbean. Sorry, I forgot to load that up into Podbean. We'll get that done. They don't hear that when I play it on here. So, like I said, it's peaceful protest. It's good. Got out, exercised that. Maybe they made some friends, drank some coffee, hot tea, had a few slogans they pumped out. All good. As long as we're not burning buildings down, as long as we're not stopping people from going to work in the morning, I'm all good with it. That's been the problem. I just don't agree with it when they try to do things they shouldn't. So yeah, hands off. They go on to say whether you are mobilized by attacks on our democracy. They love to throw around the word, democracy. Whether you are mobilized by attacks on our democracy, the slashing of jobs, the invasion of privacy, or the assault on our services, this moment is for you. Listen, Uncle Sam moment. It's for you. I shouldn't poke fun. Can't help it. And the sky is falling. The sky is falling. The dictator. Oh. You've been getting stole from left and right. All kinds of violation of your rights and everything in this land, using the Justice Department to just eradicate their enemies and whatever else they were doing. Too long to mention. They don't care anyway. You don't have any problem with that. But now it's, the sky is falling. We are setting out to build a massive, visible, national rejection of this crisis. Oh, we're in a crisis? I didn't know we were in a crisis. I know we're in Tariff War 2025. I didn't know it was a crisis. We're in a crisis. I'm learning stuff now. Nearly 600,000 people have signed up to attend the event, some of which took place in major cities like London and Paris. According to Indivisible, one of the organizations leading the movement in collaboration with a nationwide coalition that includes civil rights organizations, veterans, women's rights groups, labor unions, and LGBTQ plus advocates. This was a CNN article. They had not been able to independently verify how many people attended Saturday's demonstrations. But hands-off organizers say that millions of people turned up from coast to coast. Well, that's not shocking. There were still millions of people that hated President Trump, but he won the majority. So, okay, there's a lot of pissed off people out there. Sure, we recognize that. But there's more that are for what's going on than what's against. But have at it. Not saying anything against that. Organizers say they have 3 demands. Where were these people at 4 years ago? An end to the billionaire takeover. An end to the billionaire takeover. Listen, my friends, money moves the world. I'm sure that's pointing at Elon. He's a billionaire. He's taking over the world. Doge, let's stop it. It's the attack of Doge. Got to stop them. The billionaires. I get it. People on the right don't like billionaires either. I mean, most of them. Bilderbergers. An end to the billionaire takeover. Number 2, rampant corruption. Oh, they're actually interested in rampant corruption? Hello? Where were you at? Rampant corruption? You just now realize there was rampant. I believe that's what's being exposed. Rampant corruption from the previous administration. But they say from the Trump administration. Rampant corruption. That's number 2. Number 3,
An end to the slashing federal funds for Medicaid, Social Security, and other programs working people rely on. Actually, they combined that first one. An end to the billionaire takeover and rampant corruption of the Trump administration. Sorry, that was number one. That's a big number one. I thought you kind of keep it kind of close to the vest. Number two, an end to the slashing of federal funds for Medicaid, Social Security, and other programs working people rely on. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. Government's been doing that for decades. They have not funded. They've stolen the funds. They just now came to the party. I thought it was just an anti-Trump and anti-Elon. They've actually got some demands. They've actually got some ideas for these things. Well, it's good to know. I just wonder where they've been. I mean, because it's been going on, and they didn't care. Oh, and number three, an end to the attacks on immigrants, not illegals. Immigrants? I thought we were rounding up illegals. That's not immigrants. No, we were attacking immigrants. People are still being sworn in as citizens around the nation in federal courthouses. Still goes on. They're still coming in legally. It's not an attack on immigrants, it's an attack on illegals. Trans people, I don't know that we attacked them. We just said we're going to pay for some things. And other communities. So anyway, they're throwing up signs, Project 2025. That's been a catchphrase since the election. Some state representatives spoke at these protests. Well, of course. I mean, that's votes. Let's see. Top Democratic Representative Jamie Raskin of Maryland, not a surprise here at all. Not in the least is that a surprise that he was a part of. Who said there is no future with a president who has quote, the politics, or come on, dude. As Joe Biden would say, come on, man. This is so stupid. Fear-mongering, scaring the people, just throwing words and seeing what sticks. The politics of Mussolini. Are you kidding me? One of the greatest monsters of our time. Something was meaner and worse than Brezhnev and everybody else. I know there's many. I mean, that's another whole party, a bunch of people. And the economics of Herbert Hoover. That's weird they pulled that one out. Herbert Hoover. Quote, our founders wrote a constitution. Really? I didn't think they cared about the Constitution. I thought that they wanted to rip it up. I thought they wanted to rewrite it and say it was a living, breathing document that changes with the times. I didn't know. That's news to me that they actually know that the founders wrote a constitution that's still in place. Didn't know that. They said it does not. We didn't. Our founders wrote a constitution that does not begin with "we the dictators." You mean they actually read it? I didn't think they ever read it. I thought they hated it. The preamble says "we the people." Raskin said it. This is Raskin. This is an elected official. Raskin said in front of a crowd of thousands gathered at the Washington Monument, holding signs condemning the administration. Quote, no moral person wants an economy crashing. I mean, where do they get these little slogans? I mean, I just thought that was so cute. Economy crashing dictator. You see the guy, like a DJ. We got a new record for you. It's a hot new band called Economy Crashing Dictators. Gosh. Economy crashing dictator. Dictator? Oh, I know what you mean. You mean you're outnumbered right now, and so you can't get your way, and you didn't care less about anything when you were just throwing around the Justice Department, jackbooting people's, coming into people's homes and dragging them out in the middle of the night with CNN in tow. I ain't had no problem with that. No, that's some bad people. We got to get rid of them. Where were you at then, Mr. Raskin? When you violated people's civil rights and every other right, you tried to destroy them. You were all down with that. But now the economy crashing dictator. Who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Raskin. Oh my gosh. I told you they had a slogan. I told you I was pretty close. We're going to get to it. They always got to have a little saying, a little song. I'm probably going to make some people mad tonight. I probably already have. I'm looking for the hate mail. I don't see it yet. This is all CNN. It's funny to read their stuff. Rally goers travel from across the country in a show of force. Show of force? What the heck? They show up with the Jeeps with the little machine guns on back? Show up in force? What, they come out in uniform? You know, when conservatives descended on the Capitol, they put up fencing and, hired on extra security and everything. They were afraid they were going to be overran by a show of force from those crazy conservatives. But when they show up, it's a show of force. President Trump, you better get the fencing back up, the concrete barricades, shut down all the roads, keep people out, shut down the people visiting the White House and everything else. Oh my gosh, there's a show of force at the nation's capital over concerns of the administration's policies. Demonstrators on the National Mall chanted. This is what gets me every single time. The little songs. Hey ho. Hey ho, Trump's got to go. They have to say ho. Just say it. Hey ho, Trump's got to go. And they're holding signs. It's amazing they care about the Constitution now. They never cared about the Constitution. They hate the document. They said the founding fathers were idiots, slaveholders. Wicked white men that didn't know how to. They were wicked in their time, but they sure couldn't have figured out how to lead a country in our time. It needs to be rewritten. But now we're all fired up to protect the Constitution. Oh, wow. They were holding signs that said, protect our Constitution and hands off our rights. Oh. If you want a country that still believes in due process, we have to fight for it. Really? CNN. I know this was there with Raskin and other people. This was from Representative Omar. Oh, she really believes in due process. Sharia law. Wow. Comical. If you want a country that still believes in due process, we have to fight for it. Oh. Can you imagine if conservatives showed up at the Capitol in Washington, the Washington Mall, with these kinds of, with MTG or somebody saying, we're showing up in a show of force and we're got to fight for it. Oh my gosh, they would have done, the arrest would have done been going on. Minnesota Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar at the Washington protest. Quote, if you believe in a country where we take care of our neighbors, look after the poor, and make sure our children have a future they can believe in, we have to fight for it. Wow. Spark Knight, we're just going to disagree. He uses every legal measure to pass those things he wants to do, but if he had no respect for the due process, I mean, I would think that tanks would be rolling down Washington Avenue. I mean, just saying. We got to disagree a little bit on that. I mean, are you saying the left had respect for due process when they just pulled people out of their homes in the middle of the night, violated, they denied rights? They denied rights of people on January 6th. Dude, it's all there. I mean, they talk about denying due process. I mean, I will say this: the government many times has denied due process on both sides. But is the left just ignoring the left the last 4 years? Was due process honored during the Biden administration? I think not. I'm not saying that, and I understand what you're saying, but I don't know of any due process that he has broken. And when the law has been, when the judges have spoken, whether we like what they've said or not, they have followed that. Is that not respecting due process? They have went to the Supreme Court to ask for relief. If you're not honoring due process, you just do it anyway and say, stop me. I mean, I'm just being saying. I mean, to say that is they don't have any respect for it. If they would say that they've not honored it at all. And I don't agree with that. Good evening to you, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Florida Representative Maxwell Frost also spoke, urging people to take action by protesting, donated to mutual aid, participating in direction action, and focusing on legislative strategies. Throughout human history, authoritarians, they're now experts on dictators and authoritarians. They're never satisfied with the power they have, so they test the bounds. What did not our previous president do this? They push the limits. They break the law. He did that. Broke the law. And he pardoned a whole lot of people because they broke the law too. And then they look at the public to see if they're quiet or if they're loud, said Frost. In Los Angeles, protesters marched a 1-mile loop around City Hall chanting, "Power to the people," wielding signs with messages like hands off education and resist, resist. Since Trump took office, his administration, this is a CNN article, by the way. Let me give full credit here. CNN US. Since Trump took office, his administration has been vocal about the efforts to cut federal spending, regardless of who it may harm. Federal spending is cut, and then say they cut any services. This is the argument they've done. What they're going to do is they're going to tell the people you're not going to get your Social Security check, you're not going to get your Medicaid insurance and all that. They always do this. It always gets thrown out there like that because it's a fear factor, a scare factor to scare people who are worried about those things, and they'll probably talk about delays in the check. It'll all be out there. Thousands of federal workers have been laid off or issued immediate termination notifications as a part of Trump and Musk's plan to downsize the federal government. True, can do that. And Musk, the world's richest man, has aggressively pushed policies to reduce spending as the head of the so-called, it's not a so-called, it's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. It's not so-called. That's what it is called. All while repeatedly misleading the public about federal spending. Misleading? He has also boasted that he put USAID, an agency that feeds some of the world's poorest, most desperate people, has saved millions of lives, in the wood chipper. They dismantle foreign and aid programs that support fragile democracies abroad, and put on leave federal workers who protect U.S. elections at home. Here we go. In a move that current former officials say abandons decades of American commitments to democracy. They got to throw democracy out there once again. And Here it comes. The Social Security Administration responsible for monthly benefits to around 70. I can read these people like a book. To 73 million Americans is now in turmoil after a massive reorganization, including cutting thousands of employees. Do you know that I got my federal return back quicker this year than ever before? It's chaos, turmoil. It's just destroying it. Trump and his team have also taken extraordinary measures to crack down on immigration, aggressively pressuring ICE to pick up the pace of migrant arrests and touting mass deportation plans, despite the administration making multiple missteps in recent weeks, including mistakenly deporting a Salvadorian man. Well, and I said he's a criminal. He can go to Gitmo. They tell us that immigrants are stealing our jobs, but they're the ones shipping jobs overseas and hiring corporate lawyers to go and union bust. You knew that would come up too, said Frost. They tell us that trans people are a threat to our children, but they're the ones dismantling public education. No, they're not. Public education has not been dismantled. Public education still goes forward. I'll be dropping my children off to public education in the morning. They've been under no effect whatsoever. It is driven by Atlanta in our state. They absolutely are not destroyed, and it's not dismantled. They're the ones denying the climate crisis. You knew that had to go in. They're the ones poisoning our planet. They're the ones doing nothing about the national public health emergency of gun violence. That's a national public health emergency. Go look at the numbers. You'll find out what the national health emergency is. They just got to go look at the numbers. Trump administration has frequently questioned climate science. They said it will roll back major climate policies, including rules that target pollution from vehicles and power plants, in a major blow to America's progress on clean air, clean water, and climate action. Trump has also ordered the federal government to reevaluate the gun policies and all ongoing litigation that could restrict an American's gun rights. Oh, the horror of it. Frost called the current state of politics in America an insidious rise of authoritarianism. Again, they've not said one word about the authoritarianism of the Biden administration. Fueled by corrupt billionaires and mega corporations who think they have a right to control all aspects of the lives of their citizens, including freedom of speech. Apparently, you stood out there and practiced freedom of speech. Oh, and it goes on and on and on and on. Government is government. Are mistakes made sometimes? Yes. Deal with the mistakes, correct it. But this is a little over the top. And they have not cared one jack whit about the Constitution since ever. Like I said, they hate the document. They despise it. They want it shredded. They want to destroy it and rewrite it in their own image of what they believe America should be. They only use these terms. They only use these terms when they feel like they could score points with people in the street. The rest of the time, they have no care, no concern. Most of them. There may be some, but most of them have no care and no concern about it. They criticize it all the time. They hate this country. So, it's fun. It's fun to read the other side. Oh. You know, most of the billionaires in the world are leftist anyway. But now we're going to attack the billionaires. This is a Biden speech topic. He was always attacking the rich, of which he's in the party. We're going after the rich, the Wall Street. Dude, who do you think's there? Most of the rich and elite are leftists. They're not conservative. There's a handful that are, or somewhat are. I wouldn't even say fully conservative. They'll flow the way of business. Most of them are center left, usually a hard left, but certainly not right. Even the ones that are somewhat conservative, they only look conservative because most of them are a hard left, and so when they come back to the center, it looks like they're right, but they're really not center right. They're really center left. They just are what normally they were instead of extreme left, radical left. That's what we see. Got a measles outbreak. We've been hearing about that a little bit. Unfortunately, a second child has died in Texas. Measles-related illness. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is traveling to West Texas on Sunday. We're going to run a quick commercial. We're going to talk about that. Get your thoughts about it. Hey, thanks, Spartan, for being in here. Thanks, Angry Conservative 1981, for your popping in as well. And all of you that are coming in, I've seen a few people jump in here as we get going in the show a little bit. We'll continue, but let me run a quick ad and refill my coffee cup. It's important. Got to have coffee. And very soon, the Southern Fried Cornbread Nation group is going to have, yes, its own blends. I'm so excited. I'll still have in the studio here some of the ones that I know and love. I mean, Killer Carl advertises for 55coffee.com. That's a great coffee too. The Freedom Blend, go get it today. Use that promo code Carl15, CARL 15. You'll get a discount. They actually send me a bonus. I may put that on the screen. We're not an affiliate. We don't receive anything from them, but I don't mind. It's a great coffee. I'll show you that when I come back from the break. It's a great coffee, the Freedom Blend. We may be advertising for ourselves at one point. Who knows? Let's talk about Mammoth Nation. We'll be right back.
The pipes they hum in the morning dew, a mournful call so raw and true. Through misty hills the echoes play, chasing the ghosts of a fading day. The wind it dances with the sound so bold, silver whispers through the cold. Mountains weep as the notes do climb, a sorrowful hymn that escapes through time. Oh, hear the cries of the rising pipes, feel the strain where the soul collides. A tune that wraps in a tartan shroud, lifting the hearts of the heavy bowed. With thirsty hills, quiet falls as the music spills, a thread of past where the future leads, carried afar by these ancient seas. A lone piper stands where the clouds kiss earth, a solitary hymn giving life its worth. Each note a tear for the ones we've missed, echoes that linger through highland mist, breathing life where silence grows. The pipes unlock what the heart bestows, eternal words without the sound, heavy hearts they firmly ground.
Yeah, one more. Hey, how many that coffee on the top floor?
Oh, hear the cries of the rising pipes.
And hand me that other one, the little small one, Guatemala. All right, let me get the commercial. Yeah. Thank you. I want to show these. My son helping me here. 55 Coffee. 55 Coffee. This is that Freedom Blend that Killer Carl talked about. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. And if you use Carl 15, you get a discount. And this is the ground and dark medium, and dark. This is a great coffee. A great coffee. And I've told them that. They were in the chat one night on Killer Carl's program. They come out of Michigan, Manistee, Michigan. This is a great coffee, the Freedom Blend. And I haven't gotten into it yet. And again, we're not an affiliate or we don't sell it. But, I don't care. Great coffee is great coffee. Helps small business. That's what I'm about. Praise God. And when they sent it to me, they sent me this as a bonus, as a thank you. It's nice to get a little thank you. This is 5.5 coffee again, fresh roasted whole bean coffee. And this originates, and you'll see here, from Guatemala. That was a bonus. It said free gift. See, ain't small business great? Oh, I have not even opened it yet. I can smell it. It's so nice. Thank you, 55coffee.com. I'm telling you, that right there, it smells so good. I need to put some around it. You can see that I've used about half of it. So I am a consumer of it. I'm not drinking that tonight. I'm actually drinking something else because I just did a K-Cup, and I didn't have that in K-Cup, or I would have had me. But plus, I was waiting on some water to get to my studio. I didn't have enough water to put in so I have two pots. One's a K-Cup, and one is for regular, and I didn't have quite enough water to do that. But I do love that coffee. And there's another good coffee company out there, 1775 Coffee. I like them too. I'm going to have to order some from them. There's a bunch of good coffee companies, and we're going to join into that. We love coffee. I mean, you see us every program. We're drinking coffee. We got to be really feeling bad not drinking coffee. And as well, the Dubby. We are an affiliate with Dubby. We keep those in studio. We're consumers of those things that we like. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't advertise for it. Mammoth Nation, Patriot Mobile, Podbean. Love Podbean. Great audio site. We have just received a couple of badges from them. We've done a lot of recordings for them on that platform, and we do pay for that. We pay for Rumble, and we pay for X. There's a few that we don't. There's a couple more we do, but that Rob takes care of that. So pretty soon it'll just all be under one umbrella. Anyway, it's good to be here. Martin, thank you for being here again. Like I said, if mistakes are made, we need to take care of mistakes. Absolutely. I'm not suggesting we just not do the right things. But the left is always throwing up an example of something, and they have trampled over things. They've continued to trample over it. So, follow the rule of law. That's all we all can do. That's all we all should do, is follow the rule of law. So, I seen Podbean pop up on my phone. It was an advertisement for another. I thought, did they send me a message? I just said something about them. What timing? But it was another podcaster sent that I followed. So they sent something. Let's look at this article. This is from Newsmax. Pray for these families. Sad, absolutely sad that these children have died. Now, again, I'm just going to throw it out there. You can. I'm going to leave the word off because absolutely, if we say the word, one of our streams will cancel us for a week. This is the world we live in. So I'm going to have to skip a word here. There's a measles outbreak in West Texas. A second elementary school age child who has died from measles-related illness. The second child died Thursday from what the child's doctor described as measles pulmonary failure and did not have any underlying health conditions. According to the Texas State Department of State Health Services said on Sunday in a news release. Aaron Davis, a spokesperson for the UMC health system in Lubbock, said that the child was receiving treatment for complications of measles while hospitalized. A third known measles-related death. This is the third known measles-related death tied to this outbreak. One other was another elementary school-aged child in Texas. The other was in New Mexico. Health and Human Services Director Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Jr., is going to visit the area. It's his first visit to the area as health secretary, where he said he met with families of both the 6 and 8-year-old children who died. He said he developed bonds with the Mennonite community in West Texas, in which the virus is mostly spreading. So pray for these folks. Pray for these folks. Very serious thing. I don't know that there's anybody who wants to see a child die. If you do, there's something wrong. I don't want to see anybody die. I mean, if the bad guy's trying to kill me, then I want to see him die, because that's about the only way you can stop him is to do that. But this is really sad. Remains to be seen, Spartan. Remains to be seen. We'll see. I think he breaks with him. I don't think he joins with him. But we'll see. So yeah, pray for the kids. This is a very long article. I'm not going to take time to go through it. But I do want to say at the end of it, measles is a respiratory virus that can survive in the air for up to 2 hours. And up to 9 out of the 10 people who are susceptible will get the virus if exposed. So let's pray for them. We don't need some sort of outbreak. That's very tough. I applaud him for going. It's what you do. You got to go meet. You got to go get fact finding and determine what needs to happen, if anything, or what can be done, stop the spread, and all those things. There'll be people on both sides of this. I'm not going to go down that road tonight. Not that I'm trying to avoid it. I just can't discuss it in a way. We and Rob have said if we're going to have that discussion, we'll probably go Rumble only. Maybe one other. We just can't do it. We let that slip once, and we got struck for a week and threatened to be forever struck. We appealed it 3 times. We made our arguments for it, but we didn't even say it. I said, nope, we stand by our decision. So we may not be able to keep them any longer. We've got friends that have been struck forever. So, is what it is. We would hope not. We try not to. We're definitely not trying to. And we will have that discussion. And we will have a special show on it probably. I'd like to hear people's opinions. People on both sides. As a parent, as a grandparent, I have certainly thoughts about it. But I'm glad that he's visiting the area. So let's pray for those families. That's horrible. I think all of us as Americans can come together and pray for those things. As mentioned earlier today, and there's some minutes on it as well. Several countries are lining up to make deals to avoid the tariff pain. Among those is India, Taiwan, Indonesia. There's a few others, but there's several that have started to say, look, we want a deal. Let's get a fair deal, and let's move on. We don't want to fight it. We're not going to retaliate, and let's find it. Let's find the right balance and bring that balance to the economics of this thing. And Taiwan has placed more investment in the U.S. Well, yeah, there's a big chip factory going to be built. Talked about that. They're a country that is definitely making moves like they fear that one day it might be curtains for them, at least the business people. Taiwan's president, Lai Ching-te, said on Sunday that Taiwan will not impose reciprocal trade tariffs on the United States. but will remove trade barriers, and the Taiwanese companies will gradually increase their investments in the country. So we'll see. Interestingly enough, the U.S. tariffs do not apply to semiconductors, a major Taiwanese export. 5 major companies. Of course it doesn't. Meeting executives from small and medium-sized companies at his residence, Lei said given Taiwan's dependence on trade, the economy would invariably have a hard time dealing with the tariffs, but he thought the impact could be minimized. In the face of U.S. reciprocal tariffs, Taiwan has no plan to take tariff retaliation, and there will be no change in the investment commitments of enterprises to the United States as long as they are in the national interest. TSMC, this is the largest contract chip maker, the world's largest. Last month announced an additional $100 billion investment in the U.S. Yeah, they're hedging. In the future, in addition to TSMC's increased investment, other industries such as electronics, information and communications, petrochemicals, and natural gas will be able to increase investments in the U.S. and deepen Taiwan-U.S. industrial cooperation. That means more of them moving here, setting up operations here. So we'll see. I'm sure that China is watching this very closely. Anything to do with Taiwan, they're watching. They won't like that. So we'll see. Gasoline has been pretty good. I think I paid, what was it? I mean, it's not great, but it's getting better. $2.90, $2.94, $2.88, somewhere in there. The other day, a couple days ago. Or actually, it was yesterday. It's good to see those coming down. I mean, nobody wants a financial meltdown. And yes, Israel was hit with tariffs too. A historic meeting between Netanyahu and Trump is fixing to occur, and they are seeking relief from tariffs on Israel. A lot of people won't like that. They will be meeting this week. He departed today. He's going to be spending a few days in Hungary. He departs for Washington Sunday for an impromptu visit with Trump that is expected to take place on Monday. So Monday, tomorrow, be big news in the big city, the big W, big Washington. He said in a statement that the talks will cover Israeli hostages still held in Gaza after 18 months, achieving victory in Gaza, and the tariff regime on Israel. Quote, I hope that I'll be able to help with this issue. That is the intention. Netanyahu said of the tariffs, I am the first international leader, the first foreign leader who will meet with President Trump on the issue, which is so important to the Israeli economy. So we'll see. A lot of countries are lining up. There's still a lot that are not. There's still many that are fighting against this and looking to retaliate. There'll be that. Canada, some Asian countries, and others. So Tariff Wars 2025 continue. So we'll see. I'm not sure where that goes. I think we just have to trust the process. I think everybody agrees there needs to be more balance on, what's going to happen, because it has been wrong. And I just said that some people thought that I was criticizing when I said that there would be bumps ahead. These are the administration's words themselves. Both the president and vice president said there would be bumps in the road, or a bumpy road, depending on which one was speaking. And it would, that it would take some months, maybe even a year or so, to kind of level it out. But certainly for a few months, that would be the case. Again, Kramer from CNBC has warned there could be a major Black Monday crash tomorrow. Fox News is saying that President Trump steers focus to trade deficits and China after markets spiral over tariff policy. He said Sunday is not willing to make a deal with China unless the trade deficit of over $1 trillion is resolved first. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One, he said some countries there is a trade deficit of over $1 billion, but with China it is over $1 trillion. That's a lot. That's more than pocket change, right? We have a tremendous deficit problem with China. I want that solved. He also said because of the tariffs, the U.S. has some $7 trillion worth of committed investments when it comes to building automotive manufacturing plants, chip companies, and other types of businesses at levels that we've never seen before. $7 trillion of committed investments in the nation. But in terms of trade deficits, Trump said he has spoken with a lot of leaders in Europe and Asia who are dying to make a deal. But as long as there are deficits, he is not going to do that. A deficit is a loss. We're going to have surpluses, or we're at worst going to be breaking even. China would be the worst in the group because the deficit is so big and it's not sustainable. I was elected on this, Trump added. He spoke to reporters for about 16 minutes, and during that time, reporters asked him numerous questions about the tariffs. So, there's a few other things there. Well, Sunday night, he's speaking out on Truth Social. He said, quote, "We have massive financial deficits with China, the EU, and many others. The only way this problem can be cured is with tariffs, which are now bringing tens of billions of dollars into the USA. They're already in effect and a beautiful thing to behold. The surplus with these countries has grown during the presidency of sleepy Joe Biden. We are going to reverse it and reverse it quickly. Someday people will realize that tariffs for the United States of America are a very beautiful thing." So we'll see. Canada and Mexico are exempt from the reciprocal tariffs as of now, but they do face a 25% tariff on goods, with Canada being slapped with a 10% energy tariff. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney vowed to fight these tariffs with countermeasures. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said her country would announce a comprehensive program on Thursday, according to Reuters. So we'll see. There'll be lots of news items in the news tomorrow. Will the markets crash? What will happen with the tariffs? The meeting with Netanyahu and President Trump. Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Trump. What will happen at this meeting? The morning news cycles talk of the protest. That'll be in the news. Some of the Sunday shows. Bernie Sanders was out there. He's helped to organize some of these. That we talked about. Just some of the things that be going on. And once again, I said at the beginning, congratulations to the UConn girls basketball team. Waxed. Yes, I'm an SEC fan, but they waxed the South Carolina girls team and won the championship. 12 titles for their coach. Wow. That's pretty amazing. South Carolina is still a great team, absolutely. Still a great team. Also, Denny Hamlin won the NASCAR race. Go Denny, 2 in a row. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan. But I can support and respect someone's winning. Especially when you go back to back. Not an easy thing to do. I wanted to check something here very quick. And see if I saw it. And I don't think I did. No, that was Friday. That was today. And I don't see a score there. I was checking a baseball score and I don't see it. Join us in the morning for SFP Morning Show back with Rob, who went live, not recorded, went live with the wrestling event, the fundraiser down in South Georgia. Yes, we know there's some things that need to be corrected. It was his first time out. He wasn't used to using things. He wasn't sure where he could get. Got to get zoomed in on the action. He did a good job narrating, turning the camera and stuff. Up close, it looked great. Just that the ring was far away. He called me today, and understandably, or not understandably, thankfully, they raised, I think, $6,000. The SFP was in the house with a $100 donation and asked for matching gifts of $25 each to make it $200. 4 donations of $25 apiece. People lined up. That $100 donation turned into $600. Amen. If this little boy with cancer, leukemia, or something like that. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. I only saw the flyer the day of. So we're going to have an ongoing relationship with these folks. And I think one other. This is Rob's area, forte, and I will help him with however I can. But this is his, that's his sweet spot on the bat, so to speak. He was a wrestler. He really enjoys that. And we both like community events and being involved with things like that. So shout out to them, and thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. And we absolutely are honored to do so. And this young man, and I hope and pray for him and his parents as they go through this. It's so sad to see a child sick. So very sad. And you just hate that. Senator Marco Rubio has removed some of the South Sudan's ability to come into the country because they won't take their deportees back. So he made an announcement on that today. Lots of other things going on. I'm not going to dive too deep tonight. Just wanted to come on for a while, talk about a few of the major events in the news. We'll see in the morning. Don't know if I'll be on again tonight. I might. Sometimes I'll do it. I'll do a late night. I don't know if it'll be tonight. I'm a little tired. Big week. We got a lot of things going on. Spartan. No, not like Marco Rubio. Well, in this case, it was South Sudan taking back their criminals or their people who is here illegally. And so maybe they will do that. There's a lot of issues in Sudan, a lot of issues in Africa as a whole. The march of Islam, radical Islam, across many of the areas, very, very, split the country. I mean, Sudan. So we'll see if they make a change or if they just don't come in and visit, bring no diplomats. So I don't know. So there'll be ongoing news about that for the first of the week, I'm sure. And we'll see. It's a little cooler. Going to be a little cooler tomorrow as we come to the studio. Get back to our work week tomorrow night. Mama said with Miss Elizabeth and Rob in the house. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet, but it's always fun when us three get together. Tuesday won't be Tuesday, it'll be Thursday, Southern Fried Racing Hour. Dean was messaging me today. The Dave and Dean Southern Fried Racing Hour. We'll be talking about that win by Hamlin and a few little crashes, a few little things. It was good to see the King, Richard Petty, and Kyle Petty in the booth. We talked about some history. Of course, throwback. They had some of the old paint schemes and stuff. And the 43, it was so good to see it on the track with that STP blue and red paint scheme. Oh, brought back great memories. I really enjoyed that. Yes, Spartan, there are a lot of bad things going on in South Africa uh, in that regard. And yes, parts of Europe, yes, I concur. But yeah, it was great to see that, see them in there. Baseball's in full swing. You know, before you know it, football will be back. That's always fun. I like that. We'll have news this week, I'm sure, on some things with the podcast. And some local Georgia politics. There's been a lot going on. I want to cover a little bit of that, and get some updates on some of the things that are going on. There's been some news on that front. I just hadn't had time to get to it, but we'll do that this week. Promise, pinky promise, and we'll get to it. Hey, have a great night. Won't be too long. Thanks for being here, Spartan. Thank you. Uh, Thanks for being here. I did see that. Um, I have not. I've read just the overview of the story, not enough that I can comment very much on my own. I did read the overview, just the overview. I've got to dive a little deeper about it. Tragic story. But we do cover some, and we will have on the 25th of April. I think Friday night. I think I got that date right. We are going to have Duncan for Texas for the Senate. He's running against John Cornyn. He's going to be with us for 1 hour on Front Porch. The first hour, I believe it is, on Front Porch Talking, and we're going to see what he has to say from Texas. So we are branching out and covering some other political folks. We appreciate them being willing to come on with us. Although we're based in Georgia, we'll talk about anywhere at any time. Politics is politics, and these tight seats, and that's a major seat, and there's a lot of people not happy with what's happened in that seat. So we're not taking sides. We're just offering it. If the other side would like some equal time, we get it. Absolutely. We're not being. There's no payment. We are given some time. So in that interest, if the other side would, wants that, would like it, they have to reach out. I don't know that they would, but we're going to give this young man an opportunity. So we'll get a card up about that this week. We need to start really announcing it this week. And don't forget that we will be, yes, Spartan, you're absolutely correct. Global and local, yes. We will be at the Mayhaw Festival the weekend before that. So that's like 3 weeks away. 2 weeks away will be at Mayhaw Festival. So I got a lot of driving to do. But I will be going down south to be with Rob as we do the Mayhaw Festival. Our first one as technically we weren't a part of it. We went and did some interviews at the Greenhouse Festival, but we weren't there. We didn't have a seat at the table, so to speak. This one we do, and so we've gotten some stuff. We just got in our canopy, and we're going to be doing some local stuff, broadcasting, introducing ourselves to the public, and letting the public introduce themselves to the world. And so thanks for being here on this Sunday night. This is the SFP News Desk, where we do cover news, and we're willing to talk about things that people don't agree with. They always agree with me, and I understand. We love America. We love this great land. Let's pray for our country and pray for our leaders, absolutely, no matter what level. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, I pray that you be saved today. Saved today. We were preachers preaching tonight about the end time events. There'll be a lot of destruction, a lot of bad things. We want you to be prepared to go. The show sponsored by Patriot Mobile. Use the promo code Cornbread and make the switch today. You too can support a great American company and the Southern Fried Podcast. We'll go out with some music, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you in the morning if you join. If not, we'll see you on another Sunday night or somewhere along the line. We'll see you then. I'm trying to figure out which song do I want to use to go out. Let's see here. We'll go out like this. Aggressive. See you soon.